had to dip out. I guess he's got to work in the morning and adult stuff. So I mean, I get it.
Jobs,
So
whatever, man.
so we have replaced him with the one and only General Dill. What's up?
Hey guys, what's up?
Um, so we're gonna switch sides, do it all over again. Before we get rolling into game two, wanted to announce Garfield Juice is gonna be the MVP from game one. 7-0-12 performance on the Scion. So congrats, Garfield Juice. We'll get you in the interview in a moment. And we're going to see same bands so far from game one. We got the Jace and the Lulu, banning out pocket picks, essentially. That's tilt Sebastian so hard every time somebody bans Jace. Like,
Has he played it at all this season?
he played it once, and he went
Okay.
off on it. We got a Lux band coming out from Golden Silver Doors. The bands are still all the same. I'd be interested to see if it's a Draven ban over the Jhin ban from Seven Deadly Sins, because they banned Jhin that first game and left out Family Man's Draven. And he popped off pretty well. Didn't win MVP. He's going to be tilted about that because that's the second game on Draven that he's popped off and he hasn't won MVP for him. But the Galio and the Xerath, they're leaving the Draven open, saying that the Xerath was the problem. So let's see if that is true. I'm also interested to see what other changes they're thinking of champion wise. See if maybe they put Light Pulse back onto a carry, or see if they put Jirachi back onto a AD carry and not a Ziggs. Dylan, you watched that last game?
No, I showed up at like the last 8 minutes.
So at least you know like what was in it. Okay. And we're gonna see the Blitzcrank coming out again for Super Hoagie. I wouldn't mind seeing something like a Morgana here for Symphonic Salute, and just instead of saying "Yo, pull me, let's fight," say "You can't pull us, let's not fight." I don't know if he plays that pick, but
maybe we'll see Morgana by Symphonic Salute this game to counter the Blitzcrank.
thank you for saying that exactly what I said, just totally different.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I love you, Sal. Well, it's gonna be the Thresh, so countering hook with hook.
That's pretty good too. With you get the Lantern to hook you, get you.
Yup.
Not a bad pick.
I'm fully on board with that pick, and I think Thresh, as far as a hook champion, can do more than Blitz come mid to late game, because he's got a little bit more of the utility in his kit. Blitzcrank's pretty much you got to hit your hook, or else you're just not going to be efficient in a team fight.
Yeah, Thresh is more versatile with his ult. He can provide more crowd control, and he usually can build his build passage can be different. More so, Blitzcrank has to go a very standard build path.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Thresh was a good pick. Hopefully, they pick an aggressive 80 carry with instead of Ziggs. I think
I don't know that
Varus or Lucian would be really good with it.
I don't know that you need an aggressive 80. I think Thresh can survive. That's a wrong word. I think Thresh can thrive in a game whether he's got an aggressive or a passive AD. It's just a matter of it's a little bit different play style, and it's going to be the Alawi.
Ooh, light pulse on the Alawi.
Enough of this.
That's going to be scary.
He's going to blame me because I told him he should play Nautilus and he should play the tank, but whatever. Sometimes I give bad advice.
Yeah, why would you ever listen to you?
Right? What do I know? I don't know shit. So it's gonna be the Thresh Alawi. Light Pulse saying, "I want my comfort pick back." Not that his Nautilus was bad. His Nautilus was good. He hit most of his hooks that he went for. I just know it's a little out of his comfort zone because it's not the hyper aggressive lane bully that he likes.
And he was so behind. His whole team was behind, so they can really use his dread lines very well, effectively. So this is a better pick, I think. He can get a nice gold league, maybe get a couple kills.
Yeah.
Go Unchained, will do Graves and camp him.
Well, and realistically, Garfield Juice is most likely going to play a tank. He might play the Jax, or he might play like a Vladimir or something. He's got some different carry pocket picks, but generally he's been playing tanks.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes Scion again. He was so
right,
game.
And for most tank matchups into Alawi, like you might be able to win a little early. but it doesn't matter how big your lead is once Alawi gets. Oh, it's the Nasus
Nasus.
saying,
Interesting.
give me things to stack on. I don't dislike that because it's free Q stacks on her tentacles, and it's actually a lot easier for a Nasus to kill those than for other champs because the Q's the auto attack reset. If I'm not mistaken, so you can just auto Q auto, and the tentacle's gone, and you get +3 damage on your next Q. Like I'm intrigued. I don't think that's a stupid pick, and I think it can really answer the scaling that Alawi can give. And it's going to be the misfortune this time for Family Man, shying away from the Draven. Interestingly enough, with it open, I'm not sure. Maybe because there's an Alawi, he just wants something that's a little bit longer ranged. Because Misfortune can deal damage from a lot further. away
Yeah,
than
a little
Draven
safer
can.
with the Draven, right? It's kind of weird that they're pairing the Misfortune with the Blitzcrank. It's not really I don't know. You don't really see that lane that much, but I guess it can be effective.
You can still run as a kill lane.
Hmm.
Because you can get the blitz pull into the slow from the make it rain.
Very true.
I think this is the first Nasus pick we've had in this shindig.
Nice. Maybe we'll just go full AP Nasus.
And there's
Max's E.
And there's the Varus, like you were calling for, actually.
Ooh,
The Varus
nice.
with Thresh, I think.
It's a great
I
idea.
like that.
Just got nerfed though.
It got nerfed for 7.5. We're not on 7.5 yet.
Are we?
We're on 7.4 still.
Right.
So it's getting nerfed in like 2 days.
Tomorrow. And
Is the patch going
9
live
a.m.
tomorrow?
I believe so.
So that means I should probably turn on League tomorrow early so that I don't have to wait for it to patch when I get ready to play.
I could be wrong.
And I think Varus is an awful lead into Misfortune. I think part of what makes Misfortune so tough to deal with is that she's just got so much poke from range, but Varus's poke is longer ranged. We're going to see the Lee Sin here for Jingo and Shane. I don't believe he's played this yet. I could be wrong, but I don't think he has. It's going to be very strong early. Going to be looking to make something happen in the lane. Probably see Chudo go back onto the Kha'Zix, which means it's going to be a little tougher for Lee Sin to make something happen in Chudo's jungle. But he could certainly make something happen in a lane. Nasus is fairly easy to exploit early. We don't know what their mid lane pick is yet, so it's hard to say there. But
They just nerfed Misfortune too.
And that'll be going live tomorrow also. I'm not sad about the Misfortune nerfs one bit, let me tell you.
Last time you all get to see this.
Right, like, we may never see a Misfortune Varus lane again. Enjoy.
Hooray!
Thank God for that.
And I have confirmation that this is the first Nasus pick for this league, and
Awesome.
also Jingo has no recent games or much history on Lee Sin, so that is
Oh,
a
like
very
not even
new
on his
pick to see.
PG. And there's the Kha'Zix coming in for Chudo. And Shantae might play the Rise here. He could also go on to... I'm trying to remember... Oh, I was trying to remember what he played against us, but that second game was the one where, like, Enchante went jungle, and Garfield Juice went mid, and Chudo went top, and it was all over the place. So that's a bad game to reference.
The Teemo split all game
It's going to be... is that Anivia or Annie? I'm thinking it's Annie.
And Anya. They had the same question we did.
I'm assuming it's Annie. It's closer to Annie than Anivia. Yeah, okay, so it's the Annie. A flaming iceberg. Also known as a 5v4. Lol. So it's going to be the Annie pick. It's a little bit different than Enchante just played because the Xerath, like, I'm going to just be 7 screens away, and the Annie's, I'm going to be right up in your face.
Meet my teddy bear.
And I think Andy's somebody who could easily get exploited early by Jingo, depending on what pickup Blackstring gets. I wouldn't mind seeing a Rise here actually out of him. Give him that level 3, that snare, and yet another champion that's getting nerfed tomorrow. The snare duration's getting lowered when it's not the empowered snare, but it's still not nerfed. So I wouldn't mind seeing the Rise here out of Black Strand give a give good gank assist early for Jingo to maybe snowball through mid lane.
Get good, scrub.
I can't talk.
We know.
Don't judge me.
Why do you think your TPs are so late?
Listen, the one time it was because I was being greedy and wanted to buy before. So and we won all those fights eventually. We're gonna see the Ari again for Black Strand. So it still gives good gank assist. It's just you gotta hit the charm. And I mean he was hitting good charms that first game, so that's not necessarily an issue for him. I think mid lane's still somewhere definitely where Jingo can really make a difference. Mid lane or top lane. We kind of have the absolute reverse thing happening from last game, where top lane was kind of a lane where you can gank, but both champs can do their job if they're behind. But Alawi and Nessus, neither one of them want to be behind. So I think we could see a pretty bloody top lane game also.
Never look back.
Looks like it.
Dylan, what do you make of this draft?
I recommend skipping.
That's a good question because I stepped away to go get food.
Wait until the champs come back.
Well, I'll walk you through it. So, for blue team, for Goldie and Silver Doors, we have Nasus, Kha'Zix, Annie, Misfortune,
And Blitzcrank.
and Blitzcrank. And then for Seven Deadly Sins, we have Alawi, Ari, Varus, Thresh.
And then that Lee Sin, right? Okay. So
Yeah, because
we definitely see more of a pick potential type of comp from the Seven Deadly Sins on their bottom 4 part of the map, where they just want to let Light Pulse split push on that Alawi, maybe 1v1, 1v2, whoever comes to answer, and the remaining 4 try and pick off one member and push numbers advantage against that. Whereas we see a very, very nice team fighting comp coming from Goldie and the Silver Dwarves with that Annie and Misfortune synergy. Well, the Nasus just kind of also wants to sit on the edge. So basically it's looking like it'll come down to whoever's top laner gets more ahead towards the mid to late game is going to definitely have an advantage there. And we'll see how each team really plays that out in the end.
And I think this is a match where almost no matter what happens, unless they just win the game in like 30 minutes, the Alawi is still going to get outscaled. Everything gets outscaled by Nasus in top lane because he just infinitely scales and infinitely stacks. It's kind of we have two competing 1-4 comps right now, and I can't disagree with you. That's usually the biggest linchpin in a 1-4 comp is your top laner able to just do his job and either not die and keep the pressure up or just straight up kill the other top laner. Like that I cannot disagree with you at all.
And the one thing Goldie and the Silver Dwarves is really going to have to focus on is clearing out Seven Deadly Sins' vision and making sure they don't get isolated out by this comp, because they have the Ari Charm, the Varus lockdown, the Thresh Hook, and the Lee Sin Dragon's Rage, and they can just keep one target into the team and just absolutely annihilate them.
Sebastian just messaged me. Sebastian's Light Pulse. He said, "You want to bet that he'll outscale me?"
Yes, I do. Even if it takes 200 minutes, Nasus will outscale you.
For a moment, I thought you were going to say exactly what he said, because he said he's going to need 2 hours. I thought you were going to say he's going to take 2 hours. So Light Pulse getting some shots in. I like it. That's the Light Pulse I know. Very sure of himself, very confident. I don't want to say cocky because he's not cocky, but that's the that's the idea behind it. And we'll see. I know he's good on this pick. The question is, I've never played Nasus into Alawi personally, and I don't know how that lane plays out. I imagine both top laners are going to go Storm Raiders. And I think the caveat that nobody's talking about here, though, is what if Garfield Juice plays the lane push Nasus and just gets double Dorans and just says, I don't care about stacks right now. You're just not going to have pressure. Because it can be really tilting to play against. And one of the hardest things about Alawi is once she Phage, just one-shots like the wave completely. And then you have no minions. And if you don't have good wave clear, it's just, you're done. But a Nasus with double Dorans has pretty good wave clear. And you can worry about the stacks later. Like, it's not the ideal way to play Nasus, but it's feasible. Wouldn't be awful into an Alawi. Good thoughts, team. Good job.
Hey,
I'm glad I have backup. I don't know that I've ever actually played an MF Varus lane either. It would help if I played either one of those champions, but any insight from either of you guys on generally like how that plays out? Do we think which lane do we think has the pressure early?
Definitely Misfortune has it early, I think. But Varus, once he gets his tier and level 6, I think he definitely has. Varus and Thresh have the lane advantage, I believe. Varus is so strong with his Q poke.
Mm-hmm.
Thresh lands a hook, Q, Varus ult, then a Lee Sin gank with that. It should be pretty easy. Especially with a Blitzcrank with barely any peel besides his silence ult.
What was your thought? You were about to say something there, Dill.
It will come down to really Jirachi's positioning with that Varus, because if he sits behind minions, Misfortune's definitely going to get some easy double up poke onto him.
Mm-hmm.
But then moving out of it, he's got the threat of the Blitzcrank hook, so he really needs to weave in between the cooldowns of those double ups and hooks, and then stay on top of hitting his arrows back in return. And it should be a pretty even lane, and it's all positioning here right now, and knowing the cooldowns of the enemy duo lane.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing that I didn't think about. Is Misfortune's the AD carry that you don't want to be in the minion wave against, but Blitzcrank's the support that you want to be in the minion wave against. I definitely didn't think about that. And there's actually one way that lane's fairly synergistic with each other. I'm excited to see this Nasus. I used to play a lot of them back when I was like, level 12, leveling my first account, and I didn't know what I was doing. And it was really nice to have like an instant last hit button because I sucked at farming.
If this game goes super late, I think Goldie and Silver Dwarves with their AoE with Misfortune and Annie, and then Nasus, just like you said, infinitely stacking. I'm assuming they should win, but Lee Sin, that's scary, man. Lee Sin with early ganks, it should be so easy with Ahri. With a charm and Annie with no escape, I think they should camp Annie.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. I don't see any reason Goldie and the Silver Doors have to rush this. MF scales well. Annie scales well because of the AoE. Kha'Zix will eventually outscale Lee Sin, and even if it takes 2 hours, as Lightpulse put it, Nasus will eventually outscale Alawi. There's no reason to rush this early game, in my opinion.
I agree. I like their team comp a lot. I think maybe if they had, instead of a Blitzcrank, maybe like a Karma or something more protective for the Misfortune, I think would be a little better since they're very late game focused. But besides that, I think their team comp should do very well, especially in the mid and late game.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I'm talking about, man. Who the fuck knows?
I hope that one of the biggest things in this top lane is going to be knowing when you're strong, because both of those champions are really good at punishing when somebody oversteps. Because if you get in the range of Nasus's W, he W's you, he Qs you a couple times, throws the E down, and you just lost a lot of health. If you step up to an Alawi and you can't push her off of your spirit when she pulls you, then she's gonna take 2/3 of your health bar. And in my opinion, I feel like the lane's gonna start out even, and then Eli's gonna get Phage. And that's the trouble zone for Garfield Juice. That's the time where he needs to just farm. He needs to just scale up.
And he's got the Snoop Dogg NASA skin.
Dude, that's the best one.
The best NASA skin.
I'm telling you, Farmer Nasus, it has to happen.
One day. Vegetarian asses.
Just
Or
like
like-
Pugma.
Pugma. Dylan, did you see those skins?
I did briefly look at those. And
Oh
they're
my
pretty
God.
funny.
I want that Kennen skin now.
Pugma.
The
Pugma. I
Pugma
love it.
was
When
funny.
you said about the skin, Eric, I kind of want to buy that. I
They-
played Caldwell. Sounds funny.
Yeah.
No
I
better,
don't even
no,
play it.
better, no better reason to start playing a champion, huh?
Exactly.
Like a pug.
Watch your
The
mouth,
thing
kid.
I like,
Find yourself
I'm
reset.
surprised Blitz isn't going for an
How
early
do you like
invade.
my guns?
we said that last game too.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you
I mean,
like
they
my
do have
guns?
the Thresh to answer that back, so if
Yeah.
Blitz does go in, there's the threat of the Thresh hook in return. So
And he started Q, so it's a good counter invade tool. The thing that I'm looking forward to skin wise, the Alistair skin, the cow one has chromas coming out, and the yellow one looks like it's a parody of Meowkai, and I'm like, dude, that's awesome.
It's also got a cowbell.
Looks like a fairly standard level 1 across the board. A little bit different jungle starts this game than we would have seen last game because Jingo's starting the red buff. So as opposed to last game where both junglers went buff and then finished top lane, this game they're going to be having mirrored pass, like different pass. The only caveat is if Jingo just ignores his blue buff. Oh, he's going
Looks
for
like
a level
Lee Sin's
2
going right for
cheese.
Annie.
He's going for it.
Ooh,
The
oh,
Q misses.
he's still going
Still
in
drop
on
some damage
this.
down. He's still going in.
he might have to back. He lost a lot of health.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough. I think he doesn't even have his W, so he's not gonna be able to just heal up off of this wave. Yeah, he's gonna have to.
Looks like he's
back.
doing wolves.
I don't know when he smites up. His smites up, so he'll be able to get the health back. He won't have to back here. He's going right to his blue to just make sure he don't lose it. I think that's smart. I think that immediately gives priority over to Chudo here. He's now.
Nice hook by Thresh. Ooh, might see a level kill.
Nasus is already up huge in farm. He's already got a 12 farm to allow these 4. And he's stacking most of it. He's got 18 stacks already, so that's 6 of them. That's probably every time he's been able to, he has.
There's a misfortune poke. Dylan was something about to the very.
The-
Yeah, and that'll really start to kick off once that misfortune gets like 2 or 3, 4 ranks in that double up and starts to have the armor penetration building up.
And gets her first rated Dirk of like 7 that she'll buy. Don't you love me over exaggerating everything? Good job here by Chudo to get some counter jungling down. I'm not sure if he knows that this is safe, but he could probably like guess that because Lee Sin ganked mid, that he probably had to back. He was probably low health, and he was probably safe to go get this. The only question is if he can get out in time. And it looks like he should be fine. He's stuck around for a moment. He's going for gank, but Lee Sin is here.
Lee Sin warded.
Lee Sin's walking away though. No, I don't think they know that Chudo's here. This is still going to be a risky dive to try make it. Burns the flash from Light Pulse. That's way worth to find. Oh, and the laugh spam. That's the Chudo I know. Oh, but he might get shafted for it. He's got a Lee Sin on his booty. And the Wither from Garfield Juice is going to save Chudo. But in the end, it's a huge trade advantage over to Goldie and the Silver Dwarves because the flash is down for Light Pulse. On top of the fact that Chudo is now 11 farm up on Lee Sin. Lee Sin's gonna get a little bit of counter jungling done, but all it is a Gromp. I mean, Gromp gives a decent amount of gold, but it's Chudo
Gonna dance.
loses the smite fight. Loses the smite fight.
Oh, but here's Nasty. This might be first
Oh,
blood.
the flash away. The flash follow. And it's going to be first blood over to Chudo. Okay. I questioned a little bit, but it worked out.
And he's dead.
Now we
And you got it
Him
just-
everywhere.
get that pull down, and the hooks onto Family Man. Symphonic Salute. Trying to keep the fight going.
Nice play.
Plays Blitz back. He flash and
Burns.
heal burned for
Oof.
Goldie and the Silver Dwarves.
Good play there by Symphonic Salute. I didn't see the start of it, but the play in the middle of it really is what secured that they were going to burn at least one summoner. And we got action everywhere.
Yeah.
Another exciting game, just like last game.
We were talking about Goldie and the Silver Dwarves didn't necessarily have to rush anything, but they're actually playing fairly aggressive early, at least on this top side of the map. And Garfield Juice is already sitting on 48 stacks, not bad, 5 minutes in. We'll see how he can keep that going. I'm not sure. Alawi's starting Magic. This looks like she might be starting Hex Drinker. I'm not sure. Normally he goes for the Black Cleaver rush. And Lightpulse gonna throw some poke down on Garfield Juice. Not even that much. Winds up taking more minion damage than she gave. Oh no, he got trolled. So Garfield Juice went to Q Tentacle, as it was like, because when Alawi's not there, they go to one-hit kills. But as he Q'd it, it got its life back and it got to 2 hits, so he couldn't get the last hit on it with his Q.
It
He
looks
got
like,
trolled a little bit.
It looks like Garfield really is going for this. Just push the wave out, shove the wave out Nasus, maxing his Spirit Fire first and getting that Doran's ring down.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to stack solely off of tentacles while pushing the wave in for the most part.
It's working well so far. As of right now, I'd say he has the lane pressure. We'll see if that holds once Alawi starts to get like her first item. She's very good on one item, got a good spike. Depending on what you go, maybe she's picking up the Null Magic Mantle just to have a little bit of MR early. That's what I'm guessing, but I mean, we'll see. A little bit of magic resist is never bad to have against the E Max Nasus. Well, Lee Sin might get taken up by Krugs. He's gonna back off. Oh, the all in going. That's gonna be likely a dead Garfield Juice. Can the damage finish? He's
Not quite.
been vesseled, so the tentacle might. Oh, the vessel didn't go all the way through. Pop the ulti. This might be bad for him. He's gonna get whacked on a little bit more. And he's able to dodge the first tentacle, and now he's just gonna go back to stacking. Oh, it doesn't actually get the stack on that one. His key must have been on cooldown.
Oh my god, half health on Varus with the misfortune.
That's misfortune.
That's
It's a
gotta be
tricky lane to play into for an immobile lady carry.
Varus opting to go with that tier first, really setting him behind in the poke game. As we see Lightpulse try and turn Garfield into a vessel again, he'll end up finishing off that spirit.
But that's just more stacks for Garfield Juice. That's the way he's looking at it. Not a bad pickup into the Alawi, actually. He's got some luck. He's got his passive lifesteal, which helps him to sustain it. And the Q farm on the tentacles. We'll see if it pays off in the long run. I was a little bit wrong about him having the pressure, because he doesn't actually have the pressure. I was guessing and I was wrong. It happened. But it's handling it okay. He hasn't died. That's always a good way to look at an Alawi lane. Is I haven't died. Like,
He's still got that assist from
yeah.
Jingo overextending to try and counter jungle and just missing the flash auto on the blast cone to try and escape. Got trapped in there, first blooded by Kha'Zix.
Kha'Zix got a huge farm. Oop, Ari will kill that.
Ari again.
It's 2 solo kills on her.
Blackistrand's very good on this Ari. You cannot count him out of this champion, that's for sure. Because he was playing really well that last game on it too. He finished with like 8-4-2. He was a good bright spot on their team. Garfield Juice ulti popped again, but I mean that's part of the thing about Nasus is as long as you can live, you can kind of just shrug off whatever the enemy is doing to you. And Chudo's here to gank. Alawi has no mana. This is going to be a risky tower dive still, and it's not going to end up in a tower dive.
Yeah, interesting choice. You have Nasus back at almost full health and Chudo at full health. They opt not to try and dive on the low health, no mana, flashless Alawi. Just take the
I
flash
forgot
and
to do
go.
that flash.
She just
just
flashed
used
away
it,
from when
yeah.
Kha'Zix jumped in, and so that's down now. And they just take the flash and are happy with that to relieve pressure for Nasus, who's accumulating a nice farm lead, up 15 farm at the moment.
He's on 90 stacks. He's about to stack a pink ward. He doesn't know it yet, but he's about to. Except he didn't.
Hook with the silence. Oh, Barbarian finds the vault. This counter ult. Looks like no kills.
Hoagie, if
Nice
Hoagie can
counter
land a
engage.
hook. Oh, the flash. Med says, I'm doing this my own, but and now Blackest Strain is here. The charm hits Super Hoagie, steps in front of it. The TP coming in from Garfield Juice though. This could end up really bad for 7 Deadly Sins. Oh no, that wasn't Garfield Juice.
That's on
oh
Shantae
my God.
teleporting in with the Annie.
I always forget he runs TP on like everything. Nice,
Very
last
nice
there
kick
from
flash.
Jingo.
Chudo.
Or kick flash, I guess you're right.
His R is going off. Blackest Strand with a great counter game. Ooh,
Oh,
almost with the
not quite
triple
enough
kill.
damage. Yeah, Blackest Strain's fake.
She has every kill on her team at the moment.
The question to me comes: Can Ari keep keep getting these kills, keep getting these pickoffs, and being 7 Deadly Sins win condition here? It's gonna be an
Well,
Infernal
definitely.
Drake picked up. That's gonna be really nice too. And it actually is a Hex Drinker start out of Light Pulse. Interesting, changing his build accordingly based on he's going up against an Emax Nasus. The one thing that I will say about the CS lead that Garfield Juice currently has is a good portion of that is Alawi Tentacles. Those count towards your CS total. So a little bit of that's misleading. They've probably killed about the same number of minions actually. And there's the Phage coming in now.
I thought they changed that recently, where killing Voidlings and Tentacles no longer counted towards your CS total. I thought they switched that up recently in a few patches ago.
I mean, they might have. I haven't played against Alawi in a little while, but I thought this. I'll keep an eye on it next
I'll
time.
watch
Next
Nasus.
time Garfield Juice kills a Tentacle, I'll see if he gets a CS for it. That's the thing. If it does give it CS, it only gives you 5 gold, so it gives less. It gives like a fourth or third of a caster minion. Like, it's not that much gold comparatively. So if that lead is all just tentacles, it's not as big of a lead as it would appear. Light Pulse looking to make a roam potentially, or maybe just helping make sure that the red buff is secured for Jingo. But so far the Emax Nest is really working out well to just kind of stop a lot of what Alawi wants to do in the early game.
Yeah, Jingo also not putting up a very impressive start on this Lee Sin as Jirachi ults Family Man and Symphonic Salute misses the hook. And he's really not putting that early game pressure that Lee Sin's really known for. He got killed early in the enemy jungle, and he's not making this pick work out for them the way they had hoped. But Kalakastran trying to put that on his back.
So Alawi Tentacles do count for CS.
Okay.
It is now confirmed. Well, that's exactly what I was talking about. Lee Sin good at early pressure, but it's tough to get early pressure over a Kha'Zix because Kha'Zix is good at the same thing. And Jingo elected to get some of his early pressure by getting a little counter jungling going. And it helped that Garfield Juice was in a position to make a roam into the jungle. But ultimately, it just... it wasn't the right place for him. And we see the ulti coming in. He's just going to get withered. and he's gonna pop the ult from Garfield Juice. I imagine we're gonna see 7 more rounds of trading ults like this before this lane is done, and nobody's gonna die. The nice thing that Light Pulse has going for him is that he does have Storm Raiders, which helps with the Wither slow. The issue is Nasty's gonna get pretty tanky. Can you deal enough damage to proc that? I'm sorry, I'm focusing on top lane. We got crap happening in bot lane.
I'm good. Annie died again.
Oh my
Another solo kill to the Ari.
This Ari's going off,
Picking up
man.
the Solo kills.
Well, Akastron landing a key charm to initiate a little fight there. And Enchante just missed the stun with Tibbers, and Akastron was free to just dash around him and pick up some free damage and get that kill in the end.
Yeah. And seriously, if I'm talking about top lane and all that, and something's happening, cut me off. It is fine.
I had food in my mouth, sorry.
Yeah, it's a likely story.
You're right, it was
Can
a
you
big
not hear
old
him
black
eating?
penis.
He's gnawing on something over there.
Confirmed on stream.
Ooh, close on the hook. I love watching Thresh. That's my favorite champion in the game.
Maybe I need to start playing Nasus Spindle. That's actually handling it very well. He's gotten pulled a It's just like, okay.
Play.
You see him TPing in
coming
bot lane. We have a
in.
4v2. Jirachi ults Family Man trying to chase something back. Nearly takes him down.
The flash from Symphonic Salute. Balakastrand is here, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make a play here.
Meanwhile, Lowry's pushing top lane.
Lee Sin's in the jungle.
I don't know if she can get this first tower, though.
If Lee Sin comes up, they definitely can.
Look at that
They got the
damage.
wave pushing to him.
Balakastrand already has his Ludens
Counter
finished.
jangling. Oh, here he comes.
Looks like he's going into a death cap next. He's going very, very early, hard aggression with the Ludens Echo, potentially a death cap. And he's got the blasting line and the amp tome. And that's going to be first tower. So all in all, we're seeing about a 1.7k gold lead coming out for 7 Deadly Sins. A large part of that is in Balakastrand being 6-0 and the first tower blood. The question is, they really need to get some of their other carries snowballing a little bit, because the worry is that then Balakastrand's just it's a kill Ari win game scenario.
Yeah, Ari's so far ahead. If I was Lee Sin, I would just build full on tank for the rest of the game. Have Varus and Ari build damage and hopefully get some picks. Lee Sin doesn't have to perform any damage with the allow.
We got a fight going on bot lane. A lot of action going in. Jingo changes here, gets the kick down into the Q. The Q follows through the flash. Jingo will pick up the kill on a Super Hoagie. We got a TP coming in from Enchante. It's going to be a double kill for Jingo. That's exactly what I'm talking about. They need to get somebody else steamrolling. Arguably, Lee Sin not the best one of that, because he does fall off, but it's a start.
Ooh, Light Pulse with the ult. And Garfield with the flash.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a second dragon going over to 7 Deadly Sins here. Actually, fairly fitting that we're now seeing a Lee Sin game for 7 Deadly Sins. Huge poke damage out of the Balakastrand. I don't know if he knows that Enchante is here, and they're just going to get the dragon and back off. So I'd say right now, taking a step back, if we're talking about this top lane, which I'm still going to talk about because I want to, right now is, I think, when Light Pulse has a significant advantage, and he's pressuring it very well. He knows that he's stronger. He's got the Black Cleaver finished. Now's his time to shine almost effectively and start to get himself rolling a little bit. He's got a really good farm total. Tibbers is down, but it just doesn't have enough damage to back it up yet. Are we gonna see another
Rod of Ages.
You know, Rod, and he's got a Negatron Cloak, just doesn't quite have the raw damage necessary to back him off of that tower. And Rift Herald killed Rift Herald. Some of my favorite interactions is like coded when Rift Herald despawns. It's just coded as Rift Herald killed the Rift Herald.
Judo.
See if he can escape from this. Not quite enough.
Nice hook by Blitzcrank.
Throw, he hooks in Symphonic Salute. Jirachi trying to trade back, and Symphonic Salute able to walk away from that in the end.
I've been like 4 seconds behind you guys this entire game.
You're running a toaster.
23, 24.
I'm there now.
Unfortunately, Jirachi had no mana to follow the hook.
Uh-oh.
Or wait. I'm thinking wrong.
Sorry.
The Flash Charm hits from Balagastran.
Zari is going off.
And
Jirachi with the steal.
I mean, but that's what they want. You don't want all the kills on one person.
Very true.
And while Ari's not a bad person to have kills on, you really need the rest of your team rolling. And now Lee Sin's got a couple. Jirachi just picked up his first. If I'm Balagastran, while yes, you did 90% of that work, I'm not at all upset there because you need somebody
First
else to get some of
assist.
this gold. Right. Balagastran can pretty much, I'd say, 1v1 anybody on this map right now. The Nasus might be tough, but
No,
Ari
the
doesn't
Nasus
depend
doesn't
on
have
auto
the
attack.
doesn't have the
So the
magic
Wither ain't
resist
gonna do
required to handle that 1v1 at the moment.
oh yeah,
You
true.
see Jingo
true,
going
true.
in, catching Chudo out. He
Killing spree.
hits the resonating strike
Right.
and follows that up with a kick.
We got pings onto the Garfield juice in the top lane. Balagastran looking to maybe try it out, see if he can 1v1, even though it's not gonna be a 1v1. And Garfield juice is wiser to that, and he'll back off,
Yep.
back to tower.
A good ward in the Tribush spots that gank attempt
Yeah.
and he's able to just leave there.
A really aggressive ward there from Jingo. I don't dislike it though, because it looks like they're gonna try and still make a play. So I'd like to know if somebody's coming, and it's actually going to spot on Shantae. I don't know if it hit.
And he's dead. Nice Q by Lee. Good play.
And Jingo opting to just wait under turret and hand that kill over to Light Pulse, trying to get him ahead in this 1v1.
Yeah, absolutely. They're doing very good now at getting that gold to other people. I know they're not really listening, but they're listening to us. They're making sure that if say Enchante gets to the point where he can just pop Balagastran, that it doesn't mean they lose the team fight. And I think that's
Agreed.
That's
I like
very
Ari
smart.
going. I like Ari going to the bot lane, getting this. Blitzcrank has no idea. Looks like. Ooh, but a nice counter. All
Yeah, too
forward.
close.
cranking tower. Oh, he still gets the kill.
And they all survive. Oh, nice flash.
The flash flame misses, but we have a TP coming in from
Three
Light,
flash.
Yeah, you can just leave.
and we got a TP now coming in from Garfield Juice. This is a ballsy
Here
TP
comes
inside the turret on no health.
Then
Chudo diving in the backline, going under tower, trying to shut down Balakastrat, and he's just not able to get the damage off. Garfield Juice trying to go in, pick up these low health kills. He gets the double kill with the Spirit
I
Fire.
was waiting for that. Nice play there by Jingo. I was like,
Meanwhile, mid lane.
Jirachi and Symphonic Salute are just 1E from death, and then it's the double kill E. That's feels good, man.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a shame that they couldn't win that fight, but that was pretty cool, I gotta say.
the advantage definitely goes out of that fight to 7 Deadly Sins. They pick up the turret and 3 kills while only losing their bot lane to that
Absolutely.
single Spirit Fire.
And all the while, essentially now, Light Pulse is where he wants to be anyway, because flip push bot down. The hook goes on to Jingo and Shane. Flash Tibbers. Jingo and Shane going down to Family Man. Balagastran's here, and he's pop
bad damage.
That is a
I was like-
2-item Ari right there. Death
I
Cap
was like-
and Luden's Echo completed.
I was like, he's here, but it's still outnumbered. Oh, Chudo's gone.
Yep, sitting at 433 ability power right now for that Ari. Definitely a major force at this point in the game. Ahead 10 kills.
And now they're gonna beat up on Garfield Juice Spirit a little bit again. And now just, I think it's only a matter of time now until 7 Deadly Sins just win this game. They've got a big enough gold lead, and I'm playing against them and watching them play. I know they're good with a gold lead. They really don't throw too much. I know this might be Caster Curse coming out, but exactly right there.
Oh my god.
They even
This
giving the
R is
kill over to
going off.
Symphonic Flute.
Misplayed a little bit there. He dashed through Family Man, and the return of the Spirit Orb didn't
They
catch
get the
him
Q
coming back.
Q damage coming back, right?
So Symphonic Salute picks that up with the passive play damage. And Jingo looking to solo the Ocean Drake while they're pushing bot lane 3 against 2 right now. Garfield just going in, trying to get onto Blockstrand, but Hook comes
He's
through.
getting kited out. There's just and a nice jump and another kill over to the Thresh, and following by a kill on the Jirachi. They're really
But Anshante's sitting
here
behind
comes
him.
Anshante.
He's got his
he
stun
does
ready.
not have flash.
They're all
He
collapsing
does not
onto
have
this.
flash. This is gonna be a huge Tibbers. Oh,
Very nice bullet time. Picks up that extra kill and dealing out the damage as somehow Balakastron escapes using his flash to get out of
Blackstring
that.
gets out. And that's what this comp does. This comp gets Annie-ult on top of MF ult, and that was really the first time we were able to truly see it in action. The problem is they had to commit so many resources, and Garfield Juice and Hoagie are already dead, that they're gonna win that fight eventually, but they're gonna give up so much off the back end of it. They lost the dragon because Jingo and Chain was never even in any of that fight, and Light Pulse was never in that fight, and they just took down mid. And while mid lane tier 1 for 7 Deadly Sins is low, other than that, really there hasn't even been that much damage put onto the rest of these towers. There's bot lane tier 1 is still sitting. It's lost 55. Oh, that's more than 55, but like 155 health.
Map, well.
Well, I thought it said different numbers. Then it's pretty much the gist of it. Pretty good farm numbers in the top in this game, honestly.
A little bit of an interesting
Garfield Juice.
trade of abilities.
Throws the Spirit Fire down on top of himself.
After Jingo
Man,
threw the ult on him and then missed the Sonic Wave on a predicted target that was crowd control.
My game is lagging out a little bit, guys, just so you know.
We got a 4v5 top lane going on there.
Super Hoagie caught by the charm takes a lot of damage between the Ahri and the Varus there.
Jingo's
And-
looking for a play.
As they turn Garfield Juice into a spirit, knock him down to half health too. He takes another piercing arrow from Varus.
And he still has his son for the counter, dude.
And
Ooh,
Annie's
then
flash,
Cheeto.
Annie's flash is not quite off cooldown yet. What's it actually looking at? Oh, Chudo's dead.
Yeah, Jingo and Chain going
Jingo
very
might be
deep
dead
and
for this
taking that
too.
kill.
Can he make it and execute?
Family Man
he
goes
might.
down to the spirit vessel up in the top lane.
But Hoagie pulled him out of tower aggro?
Let's crack with the soul there.
Hoagie grabbed the keys.
Nice charm.
Elite kills, elite finish.
Oh,
Nice
very
job.
nice
Good
stun from the
Annie.
Tibbers coming out from Enchante. As Symphonic Salute is forced to flash away from Super Hoagie's hook.
This is just exactly what this comp wants to do, though. It wants to get the Ahri poke going and get the Jirachi poke going. All the while, Alawi can act as poke too. You vessel somebody, you kill him. Garbage Juice saying, "I want to kill you guys."
Oh my
Going all
god,
in.
that'll allow it damage.
Oh, standing on
Oh.
top of the tentacles, just allowing Alawi to go off. Throwing down the damage back. That
Say
black,
that 5 times fast.
yeah,
there,
that black
Dylan.
cleaver really doing work, cutting into Nasus's armor, able to bring back 2 kills against the 1 from the attempted TP flank from Garfield Juice. Really keeping this lead going for 7 Deadly Sins. They are not giving up a single inch as Blockstrom looking to pick off Family Man, just sitting there, and there he goes. Walks right into a bush without wards down, gets charmed and Orb of Deception, and he's gone.
and then the ping, enemy missing, question mark.
Blockstrong goes in on Chudo again,
Oh
dashes
my
in with the
gosh.
Spirit Rush, hits the charm. Is just able to take these kills. They're going in out too far, and there it is. 7 Deadly Sins keeping the vision game strong, able to find these picks and get exactly what they want across the map.
The
Surrender mode.
really? Oh, but it failed.
Yes.
The only good thing that they had going for them for a while was that they had kept the base from falling, but now it's inevitably going down. Ari's gotten the bot inhib tower down. I'm now gonna start working on the inhibitor itself. While mid inhib goes down, there's a fight going on. Garfield Juice is all up in the mix. Tippers goes down, but there's just no other damage to call it up. There's so much happening, I can't even tell what's going on.
Misfortune Alt goes down and takes out Chudo's. Light Pulse ults in the back line. He's going in. He tries to get on Shantae, who flashes away from the mix.
Oh, Light Pulse.
And he goes down to a tentacle off the back side, being made a vessel in the end.
That was so far away from the team.
I think this might be GG, boys.
Opted to
I'm
take-
sorry. And I'm sorry, I am never the best shoutcaster.
That's fine.
And that was a perfect example of that. Dylan's pretty good, Greg's pretty good. Sal, you just suck.
That's true. I
Yeah, where are
completely
those game reviews?
Yeah. Review this game. The lack of
You
strength went
actually
off.
review League of Legends. The game that constantly gets updated.
7 Deadly Sins push halted a little bit as they run out of minions, going for that final push onto the Nexus, and all of Team Goldie and the Silver Dwarves respawn, and Team 7 Deadly Sins heads back. Safe play, they're going to take the dragon and force Goldie and the Silver Dwarves to sit in their base and defend from these super minions.
Blackastran gonna try the same bush that he just popped Family Man in. It's the same one that he just used, I don't know, 3 minutes ago.
And will the
Fool me
same
once.
person
Watch
walk
us
right
get
into that?
upset.
Family Man's about to.
Oh, he
At least use
uses,
this ward.
uses the scrying orb and spots that one out, knowing it's going to happen again.
Says, I ain't no idiot.
Fool me once.
You're right.
Fool me once, fool me twice.
I don't even know if 7 Deadly Sins has to take Baron here. They could just group as 5 top lane and just keep doing what they're doing. Their comp is very good at it. It's a really good siege comp because they've got good wave clear. Alawi, Varus, Ari all have pretty strong wave clear, and that wave clear can also be poke. Like, that's part of why Varus is so oppressive to play into, because he can get the wave and you at the same time. It's not even like the Jin W where like somebody can block it. It just goes right through.
There's almost no reason for them not to take the Baron, though. It's just sitting there freely. Goldie and the Silver Dwarves forced to stay in their base. Symphonic Salute throwing out the hook doesn't quite land, but Jirachi hits the piercing arrow. And Family Man, Jingo goes in. He tries to flash kick on Shantae back, but he gets caught with a stun before it can go off. Malawi out comes in, and he's shredding through. Takes down Garfield, takes down Super Hoagie in the front line, and they're stuck behind turrets. Jirachi gets stunned up and slammed down, dunked by the Nasus. Chudo and his Family Man trying to chase down Symphonic Salute using the slows from Kha'Zix's passive and
Nice
the red
dodge.
buff. It looks like they're going to keep him held up because Balakastran is not there yet. He's forced to flash away. They are still chasing into the fight. Symphonic Salute hooks Chudo as he jumps in, and the tentacles
nice
almost
hook.
take him down. But Balakastran is here now. Spirit rushing in. He dashes back. He takes down Family Man and Chudo. And meanwhile, Garfield Juice left for dead against Light Pulse. They're looking to push down through this mid lane because the Nexus turret taken down by 3 super minions. They're looking to end the game out right here, right now.
Good game.
That is GG.
It's looking like it's going to be a 1-1 tie. The flash vessel from Light Pulse says, I can do this too. 34 minutes, 33 to 14. A tale of 2 games tonight, folks. We saw Goldie and the Silver Doors win a very convincing game 1 by about the same scoreline, and then we just saw 7 Deadly Sins flip it on its head. In my opinion, due mostly to the fact that Balakastran was just huge. He was playing out of his mind. And
I think he had 5 solo kills on Annie. during laning phase, or maybe 4. It was
Oh,
ridiculous.
it was a lot. Interestingly
It was
enough,
nuts.
Blackistrand dealt the third most damage in the game. With both Light Pulse on the Alawi and Jirachi on the Varus out damaging him.
And that comes down to Balakastron just killing people too fast to really dish out a whole lot of team fight damage. He gets those solo kills on Enchante in the mid, and then he had a few key roams down in the bottom lane to pick up 2 and 3 kills on pretty low health targets. He's just going in, taking these kills, getting his power spike, and taking picks in the jungle as they walk in one at a time, and just giving his team a whole lot of map pressure.
Mm-hmm. So, somebody should get that poll up, even though I'm guessing I know who it's going to be for MVP. But we should still vote on it. And I just to remind everybody, Garfield won for his Scion game. And I guess we'll give it a few minutes here and see what game 2 brings.
Yeah. And there's really almost no contest.
I agree.
Toss the score aside for what it's worth, and Balakastron alone, just from his roams down bot and the picks he made in the jungle, just giving his team the advantage when it looked like Jirachi and Symphonic Salute and Jingo were going to get taken down in the bot lane in 3v3s and 4v3s. Balakastron coming out of nowhere and just picking up kills and keeping his team alive and allowing them to have that pressure in the bot lane. More than just his solo kills mid, and he's making those picks in the jungle, allowing his team to rotate in 5v3 and 5v4 and take turrets down.
Panda, did you already update the standings?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just so that everybody's aware, a little bit of a playoff picture deal for you. If the math is not incorrect, which I don't think it is.
The math is correct.
Okay. Grab Them by the Teemo appear to have, with 7 Deadly Sins not 2-0ing, they just split. It appears that Grab Them by the Teemo have clinched the number 1 seed. Ooh, that's my team.
I think there's
Yay,
a
go on.
potential for Team 3, the Comeback Kids, if they win their next 2 games. They have 2 remaining. They can tie Grab Them by the Teemo. I don't know what their head-to-head is.
We beat them straight
Okay.
up, so we have the tiebreaker.
Okay.
And then the following teams have all clinched playoff spots: 7 Deadly Sins, Champions Spotlight Ashen, Team Vi, and Comeback Kid. So we still have 1 playoff spot up for grabs between first team, best team, Goldie and the Silver Doors, and Team 8. The caveat is I don't know what the head-to-head is between first team, best team, and Goldie and the Silver Doors. But if first team, best team just take 1 game in their next series, they'll be at 9 points. Goldie and the Silver Doors have to 2-0 to get to 9 points, and that effectively would eliminate great.
They'd actually have to play a 1 game to play off.
Did they split when they
Because
played?
they split.
Okay. So that 6th playoff spot still very much up for grabs. The other interesting race is going to be the race for the 2nd seed, which Comeback Kids actually have a pretty good grasp on since they have 2 matches left to play. Right now, if the season ended right now, it would go to 7 Deadly Sins, sitting at 14 points. With the possibility of getting to 17. Champion Spotlight Ashen is sitting at 13 points right now with the possibility of getting to 16. Team Vi sitting at 12 points, possibility of getting to 15, and then Comeback Kids sitting at 12 points, possibility to get to 18. So it's very tight coming to the end. There's really only 1 playoff spot that is known right now. And we still have, how many more matches to play? We got like 4 matches to play left, I think. Yeah,
Correct.
4 matches to play left. That was a total shot in the dark guess. I'll have you know. So yeah, stay tuned in the coming weeks. If you haven't already, follow the channel. You'll know when we go live. So that maybe you can catch some of the last minute madness that's about to happen. Did we get an MVP vote put up?
I don't know. Were you doing it?
No.
Rip.
I don't know how to do it.
Derek,
Well,
just
that
do
worked
it.
well. All that talking was supposed to stall for them to vote. That backfired. Sorry, viewers. This is why I should always have my laptop with me when I'm casting. Somebody just messaged. It was Brown. What can Brown do for you? All right, I'll post the poll really fast here. While we're waiting for people to vote on this game, do we want to pull Garfield Juice in and interview him a little bit?
Go for it.
Can somebody do that?
You guys are fully in charge of that since I pretty much missed all of that game, so have at it. I will have no questions for him.
I don't know where he's at, so.
He was a great tank top laner.
They may be in TeamSpeak.
I think they have their own
What
little
is
Discord
this, buddy?
channel. They have their own Discord channel that they use, so they're probably there.
Too cool for us.
Seriously.
Scrubs.
I'm just putting Blackie Chan because I don't want to spell Blackish Chan right now.
I found him. He's in the general voice chat right now.
Get him in here.
Do I have permission to do that? I don't think I have the permissions for that.
He can just literally come in here. Let me message him on the League client.
Hey, would you like to come in to the caster's room for your interview?
Yeah, we can do that. I heard all that. I had to
All right.
jump over from the other thing.
Awesome.
Because he left.
He's on his way.
Sweet.
Pulls up now.
What's up, Garfield Juice?
Hello, gentlemen.
How you doing?
Oh, not as good as the first game.
I know the feeling. Seven, at least since it's a tough team to 2-0, they're really good at making changes in between games and coming up with what worked wrong in Champ Select.
Yeah, saw that.
Derek, he screwed up.
I don't care.
I mean, it is pretty obvious he was going to win.
All right. So this interview.
Yeah.
How
Sorry,
was
I'm
game
typing.
one, guys? I missed it.
So you got player of the game for game one for your Syod game, 7-0-12. You outdamaged both of the junglers on carry junglers as a tank Scion. Like, well played, dude. First
Thank
off, tell me a little bit, like what inspired the Scion pick? Because it was your guys' last pick. You saved that. That was your counter pick to Nautilus.
We knew. Really, it kind of came down to Hoagie a little bit, to where we didn't really have a tank, and so we were just trying to decide between me and Hoagie who was going to tank, and so we had the Blitzcrank, and then I was like, well, my most comfortable tank is Scion, and so and we kind of went with that. If I can remember what all we had Xerath, and we had Draven. We had a lot of comfortable picks.
Yeah.
We were all very comfortable on those champions.
Right. Sal?
I don't know. I have nothing to say. You did really good on Sion, man. You were a beast. I remember when I was saying, why gang top lane? It's a waste of time. But you fucking destroyed with Sion. So I'm going to shut my mouth.
The problem is I got to start convincing my team to let me play him more. Because every time I'm like, no, let me play Sion. Like a couple weeks ago, there was a Quinn top. And I was like, dudes, let me play Scion against a Quintop, and I picked Scion, planning on going on against Quintop. Quinn ended up going jungle, I believe,
Mid lane, that was me.
or mid lane, and I was like, and it threw me off for a loop. But I was like, I felt really comfortable on Scion, but
You want to play it into a Kled, didn't you? I think I
I
cast
ended
that.
up playing into Kled, yeah.
Yes.
But
And stomping.
Ooh, you hear that, Dylan?
I didn't say that.
Yeah, that was John's second time ever playing Kled, so not exactly very familiar with that champion.
Just whip it out.
And I know you want to play the game for game 1, but I wanted to delve a little bit into game 2, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Because game 2 was like complete different ends of the spectrum as far as top lanes can. I mean, you know
Yeah.
me, I'm a top laner. I like top lane. I like the matchups. And the first game top lane was one of those where like both champs can feasibly do their job no matter what happens.
Yeah.
That's not so much the case with the Lowy versus Nasus. What prompted the Nasus pick? I imagine I know what it was, but I'm just curious if it was the same thing that I'm thinking of.
Well, I knew that. Well, really, it came down to I said, you know, I could stack off of her tentacles,
Right.
and I wanted to go the split push. I essentially wanted to try essentially the same strategy I had game 1, which was every time Nautilus went to go to a team fight, I was essentially pushing top. If there wasn't a team fight I could be at. So essentially every time he left, I was trying to push top. And so I figured, well, Alawi, he would try to get into team fights earlier. And so my deal was, well, with the split push Nasus, I could try and keep that lane pushing. That didn't end up being the case. We ended up actually wave clearing each other relatively well. It was a stagnant lane for a very, very long time.
See, you say it was a stagnant lane, but like you guys fought. You guys duked it out, just nobody died.
Well, and then that's what I mean by then, yeah, we had a wet noodle fight. For pretty much anytime he ulted me, I had to flash out, and I just tried to get as much. I tried to get as much in as I could. Sometimes the trade ended in his favor, sometimes it ended in mine, but in the end, he ended up with the better favor all. And that was our discussion before either game happened. It was like, it's going to come down to whoever gets the advantage is gonna win that lane, and that definitely showed those two games. And that was one of my favorite, like, as far as top lane matchups. That's the closest I've had, and it was.
Yeah, you guys played. It was a very entertaining top lane matchup to watch between you guys, because I know how Sebastian is, and I know how he plays. And I know that both the Nautilus and the Alawi can pressure. I mean, I played the Nautilus into you last week.
Yeah.
I think the difference was in that first game was that you got ahead, and you got a pretty good sized lead, and were able to really punish that. And I think that was good on you to know when you were strong there, and make something happen with it.
And I suck at Maokai too. I had a really shitty Maokai game. Yeah.
It didn't help that at one point I came back to lane and I was 6-1. I'll be real with you for a moment.
Yeah, it was.
So,
So are we talking about last week or this?
Sorry, excuse me.
anybody else have
blame
any
Eric.
questions?
I actually kind of have a question now. What was your thought process going into the second game where they still let that Draven pick through, but you didn't put Family Man on it, despite that being obviously his number one champion?
Well, when we knew so the idea with that was when we were going to have the Nasus top, it came down to kind of with my E, if we could manage a team fight where we were fighting in my E, the MF ult on top of that with the armor reduction.
Gotcha.
That was kind of the idea behind that.
Very wombo combo oriented.
Yeah.
I got you.
All right.
I just threw a line out to the chat to see if there are any other questions for you. nobody's responded. So good job, chat. Thanks for being active. I'm just kidding. You guys are active. I love you. But I mean, if nobody else has anything else, if a question comes up, we'll figure out an answer to it, or we'll just ignore it or something. But if you don't have anything else you want to say, and nobody else has any questions, good job on that first game, man. And really, you played well that second game too. I think Blackstrand just went off.
Yeah, and I said in when we were thinking banning phase, I was like, guys, we should probably ban Ari. But the problem was, Cody actually had accidentally hit enter on. He had already typed up the ban. We just planned on having the same bans, and he hit enter before we actually said no. Well, let's change the ban, and so we ended up keeping the ban 3 Galio instead of banning the Ari. And
that happened to us once, where like we went to lock in Oriana for Greg, and he's like, maybe Zereth, but I had already entered it. So there were 2 questions. One is trolling me, so I'm not gonna. It's when does Nasus outscale Alawi? Thanks for that.
Tell Sebastian to piss off.
It actually wasn't Sebastian. It was Symphonic Solution. And then one from Family Man. How Draven are you?
yeah, well, I it's really hard to say, but I carried that first game.
Ooh,
I mean, I felt so bad for our AD carry that I just kind of had to let him at least get the stacks off. So
Spicy.
no,
I feel a little bad for Family Man because he's had 2 games on Draven where he's popped off and he's won
Oh,
MVP for 9.
he is so salty. Let me tell you,
He just
you
said
can
BS
taste
chat.
it. I mean, you can fill the Atlantic Ocean with that salt.
There's one more question from Das Bite. How was the wet noodle fight?
Oh, it was the noodliest.
Noodliest.
Oh
Ooh.
yes, I mean, when you're a top lane main, you understand that you don't always get the most input in the game. You just kind of slap each other, and
Wet noodle fights are the best though.
they
Oh,
are. But those were very intense noodle fights.
I call them like noodle fights drenched in gasoline.
Yes. Where someone is gonna light the noodle at some point.
All right. Okay, so if there's nothing else, congrats on game 1. Ooh, we're gonna get Blackie Chan in here if you have nothing else you want to say. Cool.
Oh my God. All right, boys. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you.
Good
I'm
game.
gonna go get Blackstrand. Here he is. Say hello to the people. Is there a demon in your microphone?
The Ari legend. He's like breathing really heavy or something.
I think he's trying to simulate the crowd
I
noise.
think I'm gonna leave. He's scaring me.
What's up?
And
Sorry.
interview over.
Leaving. Good night.
No, that laugh though. No, congrats on that second game, man. You were huge.
That felt so good.
I bet.
Oh,
That moment though, when you dealt the 3rd most damage on your team, and you were 15 and 0.
okay. It was because like I kind of didn't do anything like the last 7 minutes.
But you had already done enough.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
So you were player of the game 2. First and foremost, what inspired the Ari pick?
Oh, which time?
Both, I guess. I don't care.
First time it was because they banned my Lux, and I wasn't sure what I was going to play into as Xerath because we knew he was probably going to pick a Xerath.
Mhm.
I got Sebastian, but yeah, I was just like, I'll play Ari into Xerath. It's been something I've been practicing up actually for the LCS.
Gotcha.
But I feel like the problem with that was it just didn't fit with it didn't fit well against the rest of their team, and then the Sion got fucking huge.
Yeah.
But then, like, I don't know. The second game, I went into it saying, I'm picking Bran. I don't care what they pick. And then they, like, picked Annie, which is one of my mains. I'm not going to lie, it tilted me a little bit. And I was just like, I'm going Arya again. And I did. And then,
it worked out well.
I'll be honest, we weren't that tilted after the first game. Like, I just felt like none of us were like that warmed up to feel tilted. It like didn't really bother us. We kind of just like got hyped up after the first game we lost. We were like, all right, we gotta win the second one. We weren't like down. I don't know. It was weird, but like worked, I guess.
Yeah. Anybody else questions? I don't want to just do all the talking.
You do that anyways.
No, I don't. I'm not Craig. Well, because there's no other questions from anybody else, so I'll just roll with it. See, I don't even know. That claim was just so clean. What? I guess what was your mindset when at one point you were like 6-0 or 7-0 or something, and nobody else had any kills, and we were talking about like, well, it's currently still kill Arya, win game. What was your mindset at that point? Did you just know you needed to just carry? Did you know you needed to spread the love a little bit?
I did actually mention when it was, I think I was 5-0 or something. I think you're right, 6-0. I said to my team, I was like, I have all the kills. I think that's as far as I got. But I think after that, I just, decided farm. I think I was close to my death cap at that point or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some item. Who cares? I decided I'm just going to farm till it, get it, go by, and then I just roam bot. That's really what I wanted, because I know I had done roam. I roamed bot before. I didn't want the kills. Okay, I wanted to feed. I wanted to feed Jirachi, and I went back down. And I ended up getting more kills, and I was like, ugh. I think I finally got like the Thresher kill, and I was like, you know what? Fine. You know what? Good. Thresh can have a kill. It's too much pressure.
There was one actually that you handed off to Jirachi, where like you did all the work on the Blitzcrank, and then he just fired an arrow and got the kill. And I was like, okay, cool. So you guys have secured a playoff spot. Actually, no. I got a question from Valpo Theater. I think that's DG Mad Hatter. I'm pretty sure. He said, "Why the Cutlass?" Hello.
Oh, I was building Gunblade.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't know what to
figured.
build, but I didn't want to build like Morello because like fuck that. I didn't want to build like Rally because not enough damage, and so I was like, I'll just build a Gunblade, whatever.
He says, "What about Zonias?"
You don't need no Zonias.
I'm 15-0. Why the f would I buy a Zone? You want to try to kill me?
Fair enough.
You want to try to kill me? Try to kill me.
There's your answer, Frank. Because he's 15-0. I mean, I can't disagree with that. At
Yep.
that point, the
He
game
was
was
telling me to buy a GA, and I was just like, I feel like that would tilt me to buy an item that would save me. I was just like, no, I got to build more damage.
I mean, and you were very much playing an Assassinari. You went Luden's Death Cap first. Like that's
Yeah,
I want to kill you
I
right
just-
now, and
I backed with so much gold the first back. I was just like, I don't know. I don't feel like going Morello this game. I just wasn't feeling it. Like I would only really need it for the Nasus late game. So I was like, I'll just build a late game Morello if I need it, which I assumed I would because of the Nasus. But yep.
Any other Caleb's for
shut up. Shut up.
Like Caleb's that have any questions?
Do what? Do what?
I was asking the chat if there were any more questions for you, and I said, "Any other Caleb's for Blackie Chan?" I got one. Are you secretly Barney's laugh incarnated?
Yes.
Obviously.
That laugh is just too much, dude. I got one. Is his voice real?
No.
Nope, totally fake.
Obviously.
I have a pizza box wrapped around my face, and then just a bunch of toothpicks stuck in my mic. It does weird things to your voice.
Boy, I guess. Why are you so troll? But I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, I was getting back to this at one point. You guys have clinched a playoff spot, and there's some things that we need to work out, but there's still a chance for you guys to clinch a first round bye. What?
They just gotta beat comeback kids.
Right, like there's still a chance for you to get there. What, like, I guess what kind of preparation you guys looking heading towards playoffs? You guys just gonna keep trying to hammer out some of the comps, trying to come up with new stuff? Obviously, you don't have to share any of the stuff because that would be silly. But like, just have you guys thought about it much, or are you guys just kind of taking it game by game?
We got just warm up them Kegels.
I don't know what that means, but I like it.
That's like the. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. You're good.
Okay. Any other questions from the casters?
Is it nap time yet?
Oh my gosh, Panda! It's like 11 o'clock where you are. How are you?
Hey,
I have a
I'm usually in
question.
bed by now.
What's your question?
When does Nastas outscale Alawi?
Sebastian asked you to ask me that, didn't you?
Maybe a little bit.
I mean, NASA outscales everybody eventually. It's just a matter of if he can live long enough to get there.
I'm not gonna lie. I wish there was a recording of our chat because, it was going a little crazy.
Really?
We had Sebastian yelling nonstop about when does he outscale me? And then I was over here with my toes clenched around my desk.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
I don't know. My toes were clenched.
Oh,
I
wow.
gotta clench them toes, curl them up tight. Yeah.
I mean-
I don't know what to say. I'm tired.
I mean, it's an Emax Nasus is still going to be tough, and it's going to take even longer to outscale. But once you get to 500 stacks on Nasus,
500 stacks. Okay.
it
You got your answer, Sebastian. 500 stacks.
I'm not sure if that's when he would outscale Alawi. Eventually, it would happen.
That's when he two shots 80 carries though.
Right. Okay, so maybe he wouldn't be able to straight up win the 1v1, but he'd be able to win the team fights.
I see the Nasus pick. We saw what they were doing with it. It was just okay, they picked a Nasus, they picked the Kazakhs again. Everyone in the PMA LCS loves to camp Sebastian. Just play safe.
That's kind of true.
Roll roam. Ban Jace camp top. That's the strat apparently. I was livid in the Galileo pick. I wasn't even planning to play it, but I was livid.
Somehow I knew you would be. I kind of wanted to see it. I wouldn't have mind casting your guy because it wouldn't have been me getting pooped on by it.
I actually said if their team calls for it even a little bit, I was gonna do it because we're getting the rework, which fingers crossed still lets me go ham.
We'll see. We will see. Was there anything else? If not, good game. Good games. You still played well that first game. I think you were 8-4-2, which in a losing game, that's never a bad line to have. It's just the like you said, the Scion just got out of control.
Yeah. I couldn't there was one point I just couldn't be an assassin anymore. Their tanks did more to me than I did to them, and I couldn't get around them.
Yeah.
To get their ADK or the Xerath. They just played very well the first game.
Mm-hmm.
But
All right. Well,
yeah.
I think that's it. So, GG.
All right, I'll leave you.
Talk to you later, homie.
Bye.
And that's it. I'm tired. So the stream's going to end. Follow the stream. Donate. There's a link somewhere. Nightbot keeps posting it. And yeah, stay tuned. So, I'm Gnarls Barkley.
I'm General Dill.
And Fleeing Panda.
And we will catch y'all on the flip side.
Oh, and Sal left too.
Oh, yeah, and Sal was here.
Don't read
forget-
his game reviews.
Yep. Everyone go read Sal's game reviews.
No, don't, because he doesn't post anymore.
Too much pressure. All right. Have a good night.
No. Are we done yet?
Yeah, we're done. I'm just waiting on ending it so that it catches everything. All right.